We are Venomous Sin, and Venomous Sin declares war on hypocrisy, fake fucks, and the politically correct world that tries to silence you. We are the band that refused to kneel and stand up for the ones the world tried to silence with face smiles and so-called status. You screamed, we hear, and you are not alone. There's something I've been meaning to say, and if you're easily offended, you might want to stay and listen anyway, because maybe someone needs to slice your worldview open before you start thinking for real. We're talking about mainstream today. Not the genre, not pop music, not radio hits or autotune, but the real virus underneath all of that, the mental infection called approval. You heard me. Mainstream isn't a place, it's not a top 40 chart. It's not a Spotify playlist or a TikTok trend. It's a fucking state of mind. And it spreads faster than the plague because it hides behind your need to belong. Most people don't even realize they're infected. They think they're edgy, alternative, rebellious, wearing black, screaming into microphones, using words like authentic and raw. But the second they start adjusting their message to fit in, to not scare off the casual listener, to be understood instead of true, that's when they get swallowed by it. I've seen it too many times. A band starts underground, dark, aggressive, uncompromising. And then they blow up a little. Suddenly, they've got managers telling them to tone it down, maybe clean up the lyrics, make the merch a little more inclusive, stop scaring the normies, start selling to everyone. It doesn't matter what genre it is. You can play black metal or folk punk or cybertrap. If you start thinking like a coward, you're mainstream. It's not the sound, it's the silence that comes when you censor yourself to be more digestible. It's when the fire turns into smoke and then into steam, and then you're gone. Some people think Venomous Sin is anti-pop, that we're just rebelling against commercial music. They don't get it. We're not anti-pop. We're anti-fake, we're anti-kneel. You could make a fucking Britney Spears remix and I'd defend you if it came from your gut and not from your PR manager's asshole. You know what real rebellion is? It's not a costume. It's not even rage. It's refusal. Refusal to shape yourself into what's accepted. Look around you. Look at the artists that dominate the scene, even in metal. They're packaging outrage now, selling rebellion in a family-friendly wrapper. All edges filed down. All screams pre-approved. They dress like wolves and act like poodles. Mainstream is when your music stops being a weapon and starts being a product. And don't come at me with, we all have to eat. Yeah, we all have to survive. But there's a difference between surviving and submitting, between evolving and diluting. Do you know how many conversations I've had with so-called rebels who are terrified of pissing people off, terrified of being called out online, of losing followers, of not being invited to that big festival? That's what I mean. They talk like wolves, but they think like sheep, and that's the part I can't fucking stand. Because music was never meant to be neutral. It's not background noise. It's not a fucking decorative object. It's a scream, a dagger, a fucking battlefield. You don't owe this world your politeness. You don't owe it a softened version of yourself. The mainstream mindset tells you, be relatable, be brand safe, don't alienate your audience. Fuck that. You know what Venomous Sin is? We alienate by design. We are not trying to be liked. We're trying to be real. We stand with the misfits, the ones who've been mocked, silenced, left out, torn down, not the sanitized versions, not the polished underdogs, but the ones who still have dirt under their nails and fury in their gut because they're the only ones who still understand what music is. And they don't ask for permission. The moment you start caring about being accepted, you've already given up a part of your voice. It starts small. One lyric you delete, one chorus you make catchier, one photo you crop to look more palatable. Before you know it, you're just another product with eyeliner. People love to say, stay true to yourself. It's the most mainstream advice ever. Because most of them have no idea who the fuck they really are. They're too busy shaping themselves to be accepted by everyone and everything. But the truth, you'll never be free. until you're okay with being disliked. Read that again. You will never be free until you're okay with being disliked. That's when your voice sharpens. That's when your lyrics bleed. That's when your sound burns instead of just echoing. Venomous Sin is not for everyone. We don't want to be, we are not a brand. We are a warning. So next time someone tells you that a band went mainstream, don't just think about the sound. Listen for the silence. The parts they no longer say, the truths they avoid, the edges they file down until nothing's left but symmetry. That's mainstream. Not the charts, not the autotune, but the sterilization of soul. We don't exist to be shared. We exist to be survived. So if you're with us, get louder, get darker, say what scares you, bleed your lyrics, and let the world fucking deal with it. If you want safety, this ain't your coven. But if you want to burn, if you want to rage, if you want to exist like a scream that never fades, welcome. We are Venomous Sin. We are the Macabre Coven. And mainstream has no power here. If you like the show, hit subscribe, share it to anyone that you think should hear it. If you've ever been silenced, manipulated, excluded, we are here for you. We're Venomous Sin, and Venomous Sin declares war. You are not alone.
Venomous Sin declares war.